So I woke up, dog out, went downstairs. My husband's still sleeping. He's working on his boat last night, and so I'm gonna let him sleep more. He just fell asleep downstairs because he didn't want to wake me up. So I'm up here with the dog, and I'm just gonna kind of chill a little bit. And so I am opening up the group a bit more because the book is not going to be ready until June. My new book with the new protocol, with all the other revelations I've had the last year. Like, you're going to get a year's worth of revelations and updates and a complete change in the protocol. And so what I did yesterday, I made a snap decision that anyone that I knew on my Facebook that has been commenting or following or have taken an interest or was part of my 60,000 person group and then part of my website, but never really made an effort to get into my new group for whatever reason, and that's fine. I don't care. I invited. Okay. Not everyone I'm going to invite without some kind of stipulation. And there are stipulations to get into my group if you don't want to buy the current book. Because right now, the current book, you could buy it and that could get you in. But I would rather you guys wait for the next book. I'm going to discontinue the current book, but if people wanted to see what my writing was and what my thought process was 2 years ago, and then buy the new book to then see what my thought process, what the changes were, so they can juxtaposition and see the evolution. Because how do you know evolution is until you see where you came from? Okay. And so that's why my current book that is copyrighted 2018 hasn't been discontinued. It's for those that really want to check out. And there is an e-version of it, so you don't have to buy the paperback version. But it's going to be discontinued. It's going to be not, it's not going to be relevant anymore until June. However, right now, to get into my new group, what I want from people, if they're really that serious, is they watch the videos that I have that's in the post that has like the 5 videos or the 6 videos, and do the new recipe. They make it themselves. They don't need any help from anyone, from me or anyone. And you do it on your own. You make the recipe on your own with no help, no support. You drink it on your own with no help, no support. And you send me an email with the with the picture that you did it. Because some of you I know have fallen off. Some of you just have completely thanks, Deborah, just have ignored me for the last however long. You stayed with other people. You stayed with the healing energy people, and that's kind of where you're at. Okay, fine. I have now finally really removed those that had an agenda, that didn't like the way I conducted my group, because they felt that they needed to treat the group as if it was like a doctor-patient relationship where one person is always, or where there's a bunch of people advising each other, trying to give biohacks or remedies for their symptoms, and that's not what the J Juice is about. We're not doctors, we're not nurses, we're not naturopathics, we're not trying to disappear and anesthetize your symptoms through drugs or your hormones or any kind of anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, anti-parasite, antifungal, antibiotic. That's not the point of the group. And we're not trying to manipulate your hormones to anesthetize you, to give you pleasure, pain, whatever. I mean, what this group is about is facing your predispositions. It's about independence. It's about like overcoming your fears of something that is really safe. If you can't even follow directions, that are in the videos on how to make the juice, and it's being made right in front of you, and I'm showing you step by step. If you can't follow, like when I say white table salt, whether it's iodized or not iodized, whether it's anti-caking agent or not anti-caking agent, when there's no diet, so you don't even have to ask, well, what can you eat on this? No, there's no diet. If that is difficult, then sure as hell, the healing process with the J juice is going to be that much more difficult, and you're going to be one of those that will complain in the group, or you'll be an analyzer and a doubter. And so I think I've gotten rid of the complainers in the group, the analyzers and the doubters, and the know-it-alls. I'm the only know-it-all, but I can be the know-it-all because I created the protocol. Hey, Emily. So I've given myself the allowance to be the only know-it-all as far as, but we're all knowing the same thing. If you're watching the same videos, if you are understanding the same information, then we all can be know-it-alls. Okay? That's all good, Deborah. So it's like we all can be know-it-alls, but no one's going to know more than the recipe. No one's going to introduce another thought process, another idea, because that's what I was up against, is those that were saying, well, why don't you entertain somebody else's protocol? Why don't you entertain somebody else's thought process? If I wanted to entertain somebody else's protocol or thought process, I would entertain their protocol and their thought process. But I finally got all of my glitches in the protocol figured out. I finally was able to substantiate everything with the protocol, and why we turned to the white salt from the pink salt, why we changed the diet from having a very strict diet temporarily, which it was, to now saying, okay, you can eat whatever you want. Now you have to gauge what foods affect you adversely as far as the mucus with the mucus, okay? So you understand how to read your body's signals to know when you need to lay off of something. But the only exception would be the J juice, because the J juice will bring up mucus because it's getting rid of stuff out of your body. But if you are already too acidic and you're eating, let's say, a tomato, or you have a tomato allergy and you eat just a tomato, or you eat a piece of meat, or you eat something in the food supply, not the J juice, and it gives you a reaction in some way, that's your body telling you that maybe you need to lay off and you need to get rid of the antibodies, so your body isn't producing more antibodies, and balance out your biochemistry, so that way you can eat that tomato again, so that way you can eat that piece of meat again, and it won't affect you adversely. Okay, so that's the whole point of the J juice, is to not play the diet game, the discrimination game, the fear game, the biohack, let's see if we can anesthetize you game. We're not playing the game of, we're going to have people baby you how to deal with your symptoms. No, because even in my current book that's going to be discontinued by June, it has how to use a protocol to hopefully help with your symptoms. But if you don't earn pain-free, then it's not going to be pain-free. The only way that you're going to earn pain-free is actually if you go through the proper healing process and the body heals legitimately, or you go anesthetize yourself. You go take a drug, you go take out an organ, you go do some immunotherapy. So a shortcut or a long cut is the only way you would quote unquote earn. The long cut is a better way because you've actually healed at the micro and macro level. But when you take a shortcut and you take out organs and you take out, all these different things, and you anesthetize yourself with anti-inflammatories, antimicrobials, anti-whatever, then you essentially just temporarily suspended your healing process, but it's only going to, transfer itself to somewhere else and then start wreaking havoc for you. So it's like a stay of execution. J juice is not a stay of execution. That's why it's not a cure. That's why I had to really clean up my language in the beginning, so it would fit with what was legal as far as the Federal Trade Commission, because we're not doctors. We don't deal with cures. Chili juice is not a cure, and the Federal Trade Commission was correct. So was the OAG. J juice is not a cure. You cannot tout J juice as a cure. And they were right. J juice is not a cure, and it never was. But I didn't know how to speak the language to 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 substantiate that J juice is not a cure. Because now we know that cures are temporary. You have to use antimicrobials, anti-inflammatories, anti-bacterials, anti-parasites, antifungals as a cure. You have to use the condensed minerals like bentonite clay and diatomaceous earth to upset your homeostasis and essentially anesthetize you to stop the pain. That's a cure. The holistic allopathic world, cannabis is a cure, but it's not good for you, but it's a cure. Chemotherapy is a cure, but do you really think you can rely on that much radiation for a long period of time and not come out being unaffected? No, you're going to be affected by the cannabis, by the chemotherapy, by all the different cures out there. So the FTC was correct. J juice is not a cure. So now you have to figure out, are you willing to face that which you have been suppressing for freaking centuries? And so my group is self-moderating. I don't have anybody in my group moderating anybody. If I see something where a person is an analyzer or a doubter, wanting someone to justify and prove their testimony, if there's anyone that wants to debate or introduce a new idea into the group, or give me a suggestion on how I should run the group or what I should do with the protocol, or give me a suggestion on how I conduct myself, it's not welcome. We already have the protocol figured out. I've already been through so many different moderators, so many different people. I've been through so many different ways in which I do the protocol, conduct the protocol, and run a group that I have it figured out now. I don't need anybody's suggestions on anything. I want yes men. And people don't like when they say, "Oh, I have my own mind." Well, you have your own mind. You don't need to be in my group. You can have your own mind in my group. You just don't need to say it and speak it out. Just do the protocol. It's not that difficult. I say, hey, do the protocol, report on your results, characterize the protocol, and make sure that you know that you brought in your predispositions and you know you have to deal with them. And how is the protocol helping you? What are you doing to manage through your daily life? You know, Diogo, Jesus, you know, he has the coronavirus, gone through some major upset of homeostasis, some major symptoms. He reported on it. He said, hey, yeah, I'm doing better now. But man, 8 days, 6 days of waterfall and 8 days of holy shit. And now he's, you know, he's on the mend, not 100%, but he eventually will go back to work. That's what I want to hear, is that people are using the jelly juice to get through, as well as to also deal with their predispositions. Because not only a short-term thing, I mean, it could be a short-term thing, it could help you through. But I can't tout it that way because not everyone is going to understand and do 6 days of waterfalls for the coronavirus. They do the waterfalls and they may have other issues that come up. But Diogo has been on this protocol on and off for for 2 years, ever since I was in Portugal. So he knew what to expect. But a new person would not understand that what the jelly juice does. And so this is why you have to watch the videos. This is why I know the 5 types of people in my group. And if you're one of the 2 out of the 5, you're out of the group. I have no remorse kicking anyone out that exhibits the 2 undesirable traits that I finally figured out why I get triggered. Okay, and who triggers me. The 2 undesirable traits, the fear, the complainers, and the analyzers and the doubters. And that's a slash in between. So if you're one of those, don't even bother. Don't even bother trying to get into the group. I want those that are going to do the juice, because the juice now finally is the easiest thing ever. You don't have the pink salt to wade through all the stupid yeast, though it still gave us benefit, but you don't have the excess heavy metals, okay, in the pink freaking salt. You have no diet, and it's the juice tastes better. It's easier to get down. And now you have time to do it. Hey, good morning, Pip. Now you have time to do it. I'm just thinking, like, God, what am I going to do today? More movies, more Netflix, more Facebook Live. Don't look at that's my dresser. So now here's the thing. I'm organized in my head, but I have a lot of clothes. So yeah, it's a little bit messy, but those are all clean clothes. Because sometimes I really just don't want to fold my clothes. So just so you know, I have parts of me that are like where I have an organized chaos, but they're like in little parts. Like there's my dresser, but the rest of my room looks great. Okay, I mean that's my other dresser. Those are cotton balls. Okay, so and this is my husband's. That's my husband's side. Okay, so but it's like so yeah, and then there's my closet over there that has everything hung up. But the stuff that I wear every day, like all my sweat stuff. Yeah, what am I doing today? I'm doing the juice. Yeah, all my sweats and my clothes. Yeah, I just pile them there because I just change out like from one sweat to another because I'm not really one to I don't know. I just like wearing the same stuff because I don't have to think about it. If I could wear the same uniform every single day, I would. With all the same colors or different colors, I would. But I have to kind of look like I changed and took in a shower. So, but, sometimes I'll wear the same thing. Like I wore this yesterday, but I just put this on and went outside, took my dog out, and then my husband's taking a nap down there. So anyways, so what do I do today? I'm going to watch more movies, maybe drink a little bit of the juice, not too much. I didn't even really cook that much. I told my husband, I'm not really cooking, because I don't want to cook all the food in the house. I mean, he's home for the week and, I'm not trying to live like a king. Okay. So, anyways, so yeah, I mean, you have time now to do the juice. You have time to sit on your couch, watch a movie. You don't need to run. Runners and athletes are going to have a harder time. Vegans and vegetarians who are runners and athletes are going to have a harder time adapting. So like this whole everything that we're dealing with as far as the jelly juice, the coronavirus, all of that is like the perfect situation. I mean, it's not optimal. I don't love the fact that people are dying because of this, but from life there is death. I mean, for you to regenerate your cells at the micro level, there has to be autophagy and apoptosis. Apoptosis is this programmed cell death. Okay? And so kind of what you look at this whole coronavirus and who is getting afflicted and who is getting affected, it's like apoptosis. You have to look at that. And so the fact that we're giving our friends and family an exposure to this, it's like an apoptosis. It's like an apoptosis. Either they will come up and do the protocol and regenerate and release, or they will be apoptosis, autophagy. They will be an example of that. And so that's why I'm not too concerned about who I let in my group and who I don't, because no matter what, if you want to live, you will do the juice and it won't matter if you're in the group or not. But I want a specific kind of person in my group. I want where I can go to sleep at night and not worry about the group, that someone's saying something stupid, someone's, taking up people's time with all of their freaking questions. Because some of you are so kind and so sweet, like Pip is so kind and so sweet. If someone was having an issue, she would make sure that that person would be okay. And I think that's great. I mean, I think that's great. But remember, some people will take advantage of that. And I don't want anybody taking advantage of anybody's kindness in my group. No one's going to take advantage of anybody in my group. And so I make sure that I protect those that are kind in my group from somebody that will suck the life out of them. Because there will be people and I have a few that are like a little bit like, okay, but I've known them for a while. I'm giving them some leeway because I know they're coming from, a very good place, and they know where I'm coming from, and they don't try to push me too much, but they get it, and I'm okay with it. I think there's two ladies that I'm like, okay, I'm going to give a bit more leeway to, but I know they get it more than not, so I don't ride them too hard. But I don't want anybody coming into that group That's why I said that, if you're going to comment or ask any kind of question, which you shouldn't be, because I really am even coming down on those asking a bunch of questions. You should have already made the juice. You should have already drinking the juice, or you should have already made the juice, and now you want to put it on display and have us say, hey, that's great, or wow, yeah, that's too pulpy. Maybe you need to lay off on the cabbage and the kale and make it more juicier. And then Cindy goes, interesting times we are living in, don't know where I'd be without the juice. Absolutely, Cindy, absolutely. Okay, so I have major stipulations on and who's sharing. If you're going to, I mean, no one's going to complain in the group. If you have any kind of healing predispositions, it better be backed up with a testimony and with your understanding of why it is you have predispositions, or the fact that you have predispositions, you have to heal. It's not comfortable, but this is just a place for you to vent because nobody in your family, in your household, or in your family or community understands, and you need a safe place to do that. That's what the group is for. And it's not private. This group is not private, even though it is private. It's not public, but you have no idea anybody's intentions. People are going to screenshot whatever you say and do in the group. And I'm fine with that because they've been doing that ever since the beginning. They've been doing that. I don't know people's intentions, but I want that group to be a place where you can safely share whatever you feel you need to, that you don't care if someone screenshots and puts it out there for everyone to see. Because no matter what, this protocol should be public, and it is. But I don't want to have somebody come in there and mess up the spirit of the group with all of their agendas and their imbalances. And I don't want to have to hire 10 moderators to keep track of all of you. That was the old Jilly Juice. That was way back in the beginning where we were transferring, or we were transitioning from the holistic allopathic, where we were dealing with babies and, and mothers and, well, I don't want to say babies, but we were dealing with like client patient type scenarios. We were dealing with people that needed so much hand holding because it was still in the development stage. We were dealing with people who were very helpless. And that was a very hard time. That was probably the hardest times ever for not only myself, but for all of you, because you had to experience it, watch it, and you defended me. And some of you were like, oh my God, you were a little traumatized. And I understand that. And now finally, we have graduated to this point. Some people will evolve with the juice. Others will fight me every single time I make a change. Because when you're not doing the juice at the level that you should, evolution and evolving is very difficult. Adapting is very difficult. Some people had agendas with this juice. Some people didn't want me to change from the pink salt to the white salt because they saw that it was easier to sell the white salt over, or sell the pink salt over the white salt. They're like, why would you change it? People were so comfortable with the pink salt. Why would you change it to the white salt? Because I cannot comfortably just do it because it's comfortable. What the fuck do you think the Jilly Juice is? It's not a comfortable juice. It's not a comfortable ideology. It's downright freaking uncomfortable. And it's going to change. The group is going to change. The people are going to change. Who I let in is going to change. I'm not going to let in 50 million different religious types that are all about only a specific diet from the Bible. No, no, no. It's not going to be like it was before. I'm not allowing people like that in the group that will not evolve with the Jilly Juice protocol. So there's going to be a different tone to the group. Yeah, I do have Jehovah's Witnesses, and I do have people who love Jesus, and that's great. But they're not pushing their diet agendas. They're not pushing their biblical diet agendas. They're not pushing anything except for the J Juice. And if they do have a biblical perspective, they do it on their own page. Sometimes they will post some stuff that's religious in there, just kind of to get you guys, okay. But I make allowances. Sometimes we have people that are venting about the coronavirus. Okay, that's fine. Do what you got to do. But the tone has changed. Everything has evolved. Okay? So, there's always going to be changes, and you have to roll with the punches. Not everything stays the same. Obviously, this whole coronavirus thing, nothing stays the same. Change happens all the time, and you have to keep rolling with the punches. You have to keep adapting. And if you can't adapt to the changes, my God, how are you going to survive on this earth? How are you going to survive the Jilly Juice? How are you going to survive my whole company? My company is going to change and evolve. And I don't know to what or when, but it's just, it has to evolve with the people that are part of it and with any new and interesting ideas that I see. But I pretty much, the Jilly Juice only has, when you think about it, three ingredients: cabbage, water, and salt. Okay? White salt. Thanks, Deborah. And we're dealing with the elements, and we're dealing with the microbiome, and we're dealing with biochemistry. And so when you only have few permanent things, it's not going to change that much. Okay? So that's the only thing that's really not going to change is the Jilly Juice protocol after this. Now, how I conduct the group, and I think even after the first book or after this book that comes out, I'm still going to want people to first make the juice without anybody asking too many questions. Actually what I want is someone to get the book and then send me the picture of them making the juice, and that would be their entrance into the group when the book comes out. So there'll be two stipulations on getting the group. First, the book and the book receipt, and then them making the juice. So instead of the book right now, they can watch the videos. Okay, so that's in lieu of the book, is watching the videos that are only like 5 or 6 videos that explain what the Jilly Juice is, the diet, how to make it, and then something about energy or something. It's for those that are like, oh my God, processed food is so horrible. Well, yeah, it is for somebody that has imbalances. So if somebody has imbalances, it's easier to stick to a simpler diet, drink the J juice. If they have to turn to a processed food because they need to, then do it. If you have to turn to your medications, do it. If you have to turn to anything, do it. And drink the J juice, get the results. Make the freaking juice. Okay? But I think that's what's going to be the stipulations when the book comes out, is that I want to see a picture. So, I might get a bunch of emails. And when I get a bunch of emails, the first thing is, you have the receipt. You better have the picture of you making the juice, a picture of your face, of you making the juice. And then I want your Facebook profile with your face. Okay? And that's if you want to get in the group. You don't have to, people can just buy the book and not have to do all that stuff. But if you want to be part of my group, I got to know who the hell you are. So I want a picture of you, picture of the juice, the receipt, and then your Facebook profile, because that's how you get into the group. And I'll add you as a friend. Which means that I'll be getting rid of people off my Facebook that I don't really talk to until I have 5,000 people then after that, then it's just, yeah, then then I won't have to add you as a friend. Well, yeah, I mean, I'll just get your Facebook profile and see the picture of you in private messenger, because I'll message you or something, or I'll have one space that will only be for people who I'm dealing with, and I can friend request them. Or I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'm not there yet. I mean, I purposely, I have like 1,000 friend requests that I haven't answered all of them. And so I have 4,167 friends, which means that there's a lot of room for me to add people, but I don't just add people because I have no idea their intentions. So they have to prove to me that they have something that I want as far as their energy and their presence. So, I have to do this strategically, because I'm not going to have any moderators bring people in. No, this is invite only. This is someone that I know, people that I know that are serious, or people that I know that I want to give them this opportunity. Because there's some people I invite in the group that I don't really think they're going to do it. They might, but maybe they might be inspired by all of you. If I invited you into the group and I know you haven't really shown any kind of interest, really, except for watching the videos, but you haven't professed anything, you haven't really said too much as far as the J juice, but maybe I can inspire you. Maybe I can inspire you. And so that's all. That's why I invite people that I know in my life that haven't really said they were going to do the juice, but maybe I can inspire them to live. And that's really all I want for my people, my friends on my Facebook, is an inspiration to live, an inspiration to change the course of humanity, to change their genetics, to change their family, if that's what they want. And that's it. I've seen so many changes in my world that I could not keep this to myself. It would be selfish if I kept this to myself. It would be selfish if I kept this from my dog. My dog, people's dogs have been going through some shit with this with the coronavirus. Okay? My dog went through a week of upgrades. And you know what was missing, what was affected was her blood sugar. She finally got balanced out with the J juice, adding maple syrup to. That's where the emergency recipe came from in the book that you'll see when it comes out. The J juice with the maple syrup is the complete electrolyte package that you would find, that would be like what you'd find in the hospital, but it's now enhanced. Because now you get the probiotics and the micro and macronutrition you wouldn't get in the hospital. They don't put probiotics in your IV bags. They don't put the cabbage and the kale ferment in your IV bag. They only have the saline and the dextrose in your IV bag. So you're getting a powerhouse of nutrition. That half of it's sanctioned by the medical establishment. The other half is sanctioned by the holistic industry / medical industry. So you're getting the whole package with the J juice. And so in lieu of taking some candy, in lieu of eating candy for people who are hypoglycemic, give the J juice with maple syrup. Holy crap. And guess what? My dog is amazing. There she is. Sugar. Say hi to everybody. Sugar. Don't mind my pillow. It has its pillowcase, but it's half coming off. See, I'm a regular person like everybody else. But okay, but my dog is amazing. She survived all this. My husband went through a week's worth of holy crap. I went through some, like, oh my gosh. But I didn't get anything long term. I just got hit by different viruses that are trying to get in, and my body was able to fight it off. And I was able to blow it out, poop it out, all of that. That's what I want for all of you, is the ability to energize your immune system so that way it works the way it's supposed to. Okay? That's what I want for you guys. So I hope I can inspire. Some of you I know probably will not do it, and I understand that. And you're in my group, but that's okay. I want you to be around people that are thriving on life, because maybe you might want to do it and change your life. Maybe. I'm not saying that you should. And I'm not, and I know you're respectful enough not to say anything if you don't believe in it. But observing what people are doing could be, a great thing. A great thing. So, anyways. So yeah, there's a lot of changes. And those of you that are in my group, those of you that are on my Facebook, you've been able to adapt to the changes. And I'm not saying nobody can have their own mind. Of course you can have your own mind. But when it comes to the Jilly Juice protocol, it's the Jilly Juice protocol, my way or the highway. And it's always been that way, but I've given people allowances because of what I thought I needed. But when it really comes down to it, it is my way or the highway. And you don't have to be in my group. You don't have to do the protocol. You don't do anything. You can do your own thing. I don't care. But no one's going to undermine what my purpose is. I'm not trying to hide behind a paywall. I'm not trying to make money off you guys. I'm really not. But there are people out there that want to make money off this. There are people out there that have that was their real true intention. It wasn't about really coming from the heart, because people will buy what you have if what you have is something from the heart. Not everybody can afford what you have. Not everybody wants to. And there's some people, morally feel that paying for anything such as something like this is morally not right. And okay, fine. Do the J juice. Make your world better. That's fine. So, Emmanuel Garlers, this says, can't wait for the book. And of course, you are inspirational. I'll be honest, juice, I'm scared of the waterfalls. Maybe in the future, I don't try to have an alkaline diet. Thank you for all your work. No worries, Emmanuel. No worries. Yeah, but I mean, when I have the book, that's going to give people a real insight on finally the evolution of it. Okay? It's really going to give people the insight, and it's not going to be stuck in theory or supposition. It's not going to be like, oh, well, are the mosquitoes the gods of the death or something, and they're the ones that will will give you like all the different viruses, and then the viruses are going to destroy you, and so they're like, the demons of hell or something. No, mosquitoes are just insects. They get attracted to biochemistry. They get attracted to certain chemical processes in your body like lactic acidosis, and they also get infected. And when you're infected, they're also communicable. So mosquitoes are not like, these little demons that have a purpose to destroy people who are weak. But that's kind of like some of the things out there that people were tossing around, and we were potentially going to write about that. But then I realized when I read the science behind why certain mosquitoes can transfer viruses and why others don't, is because, yeah, mosquitoes are no different than people. Some people are very communicable and infectious, and they will transfer their virus onto you much easier over other people. Okay. And so, so mosquitoes are no different than we are. Biodiversity is all the same with just a different purpose, a different chemical makeup, a different look about them, but they're no different. Okay? And so that's the stance that I'm taking in the book. It's all from science. There is nothing and even with the whole thing with the ghosts and the RNA, I did mention what spirits are, which it's true. Spirits are a person that's missing the RNA and DNA. It's the biochemistry. Okay? Because that's what a spirit is, because a human is made up of body, mind, and spirit. Well, what's the spirit? It's the biochemistry. It's what hormones were most present at the time of your death. Now, did I have substantiation as far as that? I don't know. I might have. I don't remember. But you'll tell me. That may be the only thing that I might not. Well, there is an actual where there is like ghost. There is like ghost viruses. But that really doesn't speak to like ghosts. Like, are you going to get a scientist that's going to say, well, the ghosts that people are finding like in the Ghost Adventures, that's just a person missing the RNA and DNA. You're not going to hear that. Okay? That's true. Thanks, John. The stories about my mosquitoes come about because of a lack of accountability. That makes sense. But that's how I explain what the spirit world is, what body, mind, and spirit is. Spirit is where the part of you that is missing the RNA and DNA, because DNA is your genetics and the RNA is how it gets expressed. And when you're missing your genetics and how it gets expressed, then what's left? It's the spirit. It's what people talk about when people die, right? So that right there is scientific enough, because we wouldn't have the word spirit if it didn't explain something, even in science or even in religion. Because politics, religion, and science are all the same thing. It's how your hormones are being expressed, or how they explain life and death, or how they exhibit what life and death is. Okay? So they're all the same stuff, just different contexts. Oh, what is evolution? It's adaptation, upgrade. A religious person who doesn't like the word evolution because it has a science, baggage to it, but like, I like upgrading and I like adapting much better than evolution. Well, it's the same thing. Okay, you don't like the word evolution because it has science baggage versus the biblical baggage. Okay, that's fine. Use the word adapting and upgrading. Someone that's from a science background will use evolution as well as adapting and upgrading. It's all the same stuff. But we have so many different contexts because that's how society has found ways to separate themselves from each other. But in reality, we're all connected. So the whole J-Juice conjoins body, mind, and spirit, politics, religion, and science. And it conjoins all the political parties. And it makes you understand that you are no different than the next guy. That you have predispositions. Some people have heart issues. Other people don't have heart issues. Some people have blood pressure issues. Other people don't. But the J-Juice, no matter what, you're a halophile. You came from the ocean. You came from freaking salt water. You were first a single-celled protein. You came from 10 amino acids that became a single-celled protein, then evolved into this human with the help of the microbiome, with the help of viruses, parasites, protozoa, proteins, fungi, bacteria. All of that built up the RNA and DNA, built you up. And then when you have an imbalance in your microbiome, which is the viruses, parasites, protozoa, proteins, fungi, bacteria, all of that, proteins, all of that. If you have an imbalance in any of those, that's when you see then imbalances, or I'm sorry, anomalies, symptoms, and then the whole thing with the J juice and the salt, it energizes your immune system. It gives you the electricity, your life, so that way all of the right components work together to rebuild and regenerate and release all simultaneously. All simultaneously. And so the kind of people I want in my group are those that are not going to doubt, who are not going to complain, who are going to do the juice, who are going to talk about their experiences, and who are going to inspire others. Regardless, you're not coming from a standpoint of religion, you're not coming from a standpoint of anything but science and inspiration. You can come from the standpoint of religion as long as it's something that's not going to turn people off and make them feel bad because of whatever. Okay? But when you're in my group, you're going to inspire those, and it's going to be non-denominational. You're going to inspire those to want to live. And that's it. That's the whole point of my group, is to inspire people to want to live and be independent and want to now take humanity in a different way, because you're seeing now people are dying. You're already, I mean, you look at the thing with Cuomo. He's talking about every single day he's online saying that if we don't stop, if we don't lock down New York, we're going to have, like, I think he had made an analogy where the leak, where right now there's a leak of the virus and you have to tighten up the leak or whatever to where it stops leaking. Awesome, Jackery. Wow. And so you know that people are dying around you. Their predispositions, all of their issues. This virus is going to evolve you. If you're on the J juice, it's going to upgrade you. But if you're not on the J juice, it's going to degrade you. It's going to destroy people, take years off their life. And if they're already years off their life and they're already at around death's door somewhere, it's going to destroy them. Okay? So if you're a real hardy person and you get exposed to the coronavirus, it may take 10 years off your life or 5 years. So, I mean, if you're already with so many predispositions, you get exposed to coronavirus, it may kill you. Okay, so you'd have no idea where you are on that spectrum of life and death and where that virus is going to get you and how long you may have once you've been exposed. So it's totally important that you understand that even a little bit of J juice is important. And if you are hypoglycemic, add some maple syrup to it. Okay? And so, I was going to say something. Oh yeah, and there are trolls out there. Just so you know, there's a group called the Jilly Juice Secret Group that is a business page where you hit like. Some of you have hit liked, and that's fine. Some of but it's and they're the trolls that are downloading my videos, and then they're posting and reposting them and with a different date on them or something, whatever, and they're making fun and they're screenshotting everything in this group, which, okay, that's fine. But just know there is a group called the Jilly Juice Secret Group page, and they are monitoring everything, which is fine. They're a balancing force. And they do screenshot. I thought I got rid of some shows, but maybe not. I don't know. But I don't want to have anybody send me any kind of message or screenshot or anything regarding the trolls. I know they exist. They're always going to exist. If they get to you, if any troll gets to you and says, oh my God, Jelly Juice is so poison, so this and so that, and you listen to them, then you were never meant to be part of the group. That's why I've only really invited people that are my friends that have been around. Okay, and then some of you have followed me on YouTube or were part of my 60,000 person group, so you're aware of the trolls and what their agenda is and what their capabilities are. Okay? But I don't want anyone sending me anything, a private message or a screenshot in my group of anybody saying anything horrible about the juice or me. Nobody is going to do that. That's one of the things I got to put in the rules in the group is do not screenshot anything that is negative about the J juice from anybody else trying to warn somebody. Believe me, you're always going to have somebody tell you, whether it's your family member, whether it's Dr. Phil, or some stranger. They're going to say, oh God, the J juice is so dangerous. If you think it's dangerous and you buy what they have, then you were never meant to be part of the J juice world. And if I get wind of anybody doing that in my group, screenshotting stuff from the trolls, going like, oh my God, Because even you saying, oh God, this person said this person said that, whatever, okay, uh it's causing now harm to the group. Yes, John, I know. Aren't they so beautiful? It is a win-win. It's a lot of publicity. Yes, it's very true. But I don't want any private message from anybody around that. I know they exist and I don't really care. Okay. Um, Other than that, that's really all I got. But I really, really want serious people in my group. I want those that will just take the bull by the horns and just run with it at their own pace. If they have nothing to contribute, then just be an observer. If you have something to contribute, just as support, but you don't want to contribute too much of what you're saying, okay, fine. Okay? But I don't want any doubters, any analyzers, or any complainers, or any fear. I don't want someone coming in with 50 zillion questions, because I will knock that shit out right quick. So, oh my God. If you have that many questions and you haven't done your homework, pretty much the juice is straightforward. You make it, you do it. No diet. Why is there not a diet? Watch the fucking video. Why'd you change the salt? Watch the fucking video. Why'd you do this? Watch the video. You have a question about your symptoms and a question about all your issues, go see a doctor. That's it. So there really should be no questions in the group. Now, there could be a clarification about the salt. I can't find the anti-caking. You don't need anti-caking, or you can use anti-caking. Iodize? I mean, I have the parentheses. You guys, you know what parentheses mean? Parentheses is optional. That's why it says non with parentheses and then it's iodized. It means that it could be iodized or it could be non. Okay? Anti-caking agent with parentheses. It means it could be anti-caking agent or not anti-caking agent. Google parentheses to see what the rules are for parentheses. But there should really be no freaking questions. You just do it and you report on it and you characterize it. No complaining, no anything. This is not going to be the old Jilly Juice group. We have no moderators. You know why? Because you're all self-moderating. You're all independent people with no fear. And that's who I want in my world. That's who I want in my group. That's who I want in my life. Okay? All right. I got things to do, like watch a movie or something. Maybe I could clean up my dresser a little bit. I could just fold my clothes. And I'm like, I wash these clothes every week. And I got to go and fold them again. You know how many times, what sucks with laundry is that you have to fold them and you have to wash. It's like, can't you just buy new clothes every single time? No, you can't. You got to wash your clothes. And so I don't feel like folding them, or then I got to stuff them in the drawers. Oh my God. But at least, this is clean. That's clean. See? That's all nice and clean. I used to have actually like 5 glasses of water on there. I took them downstairs. But anyways, okay, you guys, have a good one. I'm going to go downstairs and drink some coffee and just start my day. Okay. And you guys just drink the juice and build up your courage. If you're not in the group, I've seen some of you that I know that have been around, and I'll add you in there. But I don't want any questions. I don't want any fear. Yeah. So just so you know, no one's posting anything in my group as far as a question or fear. Nobody is. Or any kind of giving anybody advice. No. No advice on anything. I mean, we use the juice, but not everybody is going to. If you want someone to manage your healing symptoms, then you need to go to a doctor. The book's out in June 2020, Annika. Okay. June 20, go to my website, jillyjuice.com. It tells you. Okay. But we don't give any kind of remedy advice, because even with the Jilly Juice, you may not earn pain-free. You may not earn pain-free at all. Some of you, like I didn't, when I had that headache, I took a swig of my Jilly Juice. It didn't get rid of the pain. You know why? Because I had to go and heal. I had to. I didn't earn the pain-free, reaction from the J juice. If you get something pain-free from J juice, it means you earn that healing process. Okay? That's the whole point of J juice. You're not trying to mitigate the pain. But if you are, hey, Michael Savage. But if you are, you know, I don't know. If you are anything, who knows? Whatever. I'm done. I'm done. You guys just do the juice, report on it. Have an amazing day. Bye.